All right, let's talk about Malik Willis, who played over a half of football. He didn't throw very much at all, but we still got some more of a sample size from him. So I figured, hey, we don't yet know what the extent of Jordan Love's injury is. So if Willis does have to play a few games, including against Detroit next week, what's going to happen? Well, let's start off with this play. It's going to be a 3rd down and 3 right here. You see the route on the screen. It's going to be Dontavian Wicks's route, and watch how this works. Because, again, it's a pretty good route against this coverage, right? You can kind of fake it so you're going over the middle and then get more towards the sideline. You see that when this play begins, Wicks on this one is looking to get open. The Jaguars corner definitely has his, he has his hips turned towards the middle of the field, is moving in that direction. So, on a key 3rd down and 3 right here, which, again, Green Bay trailing with 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter, need a play. You see that, Wicks is in position to make this play work. I think you could argue maybe Willis holds onto this ball just a hair too long. But then he ends up throwing it really right on the money. Wanted to make sure it was open before throwing it. And hey, it worked out. It did eventually get open, and he was able to make that throw. So, really good stuff here from Willis. Again, you're seeing him do a good job, I think, of just being able to run the offense effectively. So you get something like that. Obviously, they're rushing the ball a lot. But again, going over here, I feel like every time we watch him play, there's like 2 or 3 key plays they need him to make, and he's making those key plays. Where this is going to be, again, they're running the ball a lot, 1st down and 10, hey, let's try and trick them with a play action. It's smart, right? You certainly see the logic behind it. Willis is going to take the snap, run the play action. As of right here, you see that there is a Jaguars player rushing in, ready to make a tackle on Malik Willis. And for a lot of quarterbacks, certainly a lot of backup quarterbacks, this is a disastrous situation. You might be getting sacked, and again, if he gets sacked here, given the way this offense is predicated on the run, like, are they just going to try to throw some screen passes and, play field position and punt it? We'll watch him juke out that player and be able to rush all the way for a 1st down. He ends up getting 15+ yards on that play. That was Trayvon Walker who he juked out, the former number 1 overall pick. That's good stuff there by Malik Willis. It just is. And also, there's just good coaching stuff. It has to be mentioned, you do see, while Matt LaFleur tends to be the guy who gets all the credit for all of this, and rightfully so, these are the plays why, right? This is why he's able to get all the credit for it, for Malik Willis doing well and for the team winning when Jordan Love isn't there. So this is going to be a man coverage concept that the Jaguars are in, and it's just it's not the most clever play design you'll ever see by Green Bay, but it's one that works, where they're going to run a play action towards the offense's left, and then have a tight end who's going to start off blocking. He's then going to get off the block and go towards the top of the screen. He's the only eligible receiver who's going to be running a route on this play. And watch how when Willis takes the snap, you see right here, nobody's picking him up for Jacksonville. In fact, I think the player who's supposed to be covering him is still looking towards the running back, ready to make a play. Jacksonville just completely fooled by this. Willis is able to make that flip. Again, that's an easy throw, and they're able to get into the end zone for a touchdown. Kraft definitely celebrating a bit early on that one. That always drives me crazy as a fan. I just want to see you run in and then celebrate as much as you want. But hey, he was open enough that he could get away with it, and he had a good game in this one too. So really good coaching here more than anything. But hey, players had to execute. They did that, exactly that. Going over to this play again, it was Malik Willis' stat line, 4 for 5, 56 yards and a touchdown. This was his 1 incompletion. So, okay, what went wrong on the 1 incompletion of his 5 pass attempt day? It was this one, which is going to be a play action. You have a receiver running over the middle. Again, when this play begins, you see the value of Josh Jacobs right here, really allowing them to establish the run so much that, Jacksonville is very much out of position on this one. Definitely a window for Malik Willis to make this throw. He does make the throw, and Romeo Doubs, who also had a good day in this one, not on this play though, drops it. So that could have really helped put things away, because, Green Bay was up 10 at this point. Jacksonville was able to make it a game. They were able to, first we'll go over here. We get to this situation where Jacksonville got a field goal to make it a 7-point game. It's a 3rd down and 7. And this is an interesting play to talk about as well, where you have Malik Willis. The Green Bay has done this a couple times where they're essentially trying to isolate a one-on-one matchup towards the top of the screen. They're using all 4 other eligible receivers just as a decoy, faking a screen pass, but that's not really what they want to do. They want the one-on-one matchup on the top of the screen. You see Malik Willis take the snap, and again, it's a 3rd down and 7, so, key spot. You want to be able to keep the drive alive, maybe ice this game, but Dobbs, who, unfortunately, I'm showing a couple negative plays from Romeo Dobbs, because, like I said, he had 72 yards in the game, 3 catches. He had a big day, but on this play, not quite able to get it done. And right here, you see that Trayvon Walker, just given the way the play is designed to work, the tackle just kind of cut him at the line because you only need it to work for a second. But now that Dobbs isn't open, what does Malik Willis do? Well, not really a lot he can do. He ends up just keeping the ball, puts 2 hands on it, and falls forward kind of right at the line, which I think maybe you'd say, wouldn't you rather throw the ball away? But keep in mind, you're up late in the game. You want to keep the clock rolling. So no, that's the correct play there. So again, part of being a quarterback is being able to, hit the plays that have to be hit. Part of being a quarterback is being able to make things happen, which we saw with that scramble onto play action that didn't work. And part of being a quarterback is not making the big mistake, not forcing it through a tight window that isn't there. Unfortunately for him and for the Packers, the Jaguars would go on to tie the game. And so that leads us to here, which is it's an obvious passing situation for the Green Bay Packers right here as, a minute 14 left. You could run the ball if you want to. And in fact, Green Bay is going to take advantage of that a little bit. You see Jacksonville's in zone coverage. They kind of feel like they have to be with how well the Packers are running the ball in this situation. So the Packers will have Christian Watson run a kind of a route that's going more over the middle, which is designed to get the corner who's on that side of the field further away. Then Green Bay will have a wide receiver, Jaden Reed, who's starting on the offense's right, move all the way to the offense's left, and the idea is there will be no corner in the area anymore, and they can make this work. Now, this is not a guaranteed successful play because, sure, even if the corner has been taken away, then a Jacksonville linebacker or someone over the middle of the field can pick up Jaden Reed and still have it covered. Watch. As you see, that's kind of what's happening right here. I mean, you see that there is a Jaguars player who's doing a good job at reading the play, trying to get in position. It's a linebacker on Jaden Reed. It's a mismatch, and so Willis is going to say, yeah, let's see if we can exploit this right here, and, watch what happens. The linebacker does not finish this play. He falls down almost immediately. Reed is able to make the big play. They get into field goal range and are able to try their last-second field goal to ultimately win the game. So, again, not the highest degree of difficulty stuff from Malik Willis. And in this game, he's not seeing the highest degree of difficulty stuff. But you know what? He doesn't need to, right? You got some quality rushes out of him. You got some decent throws out of him. And he didn't make a mistake. He was mistake-free in this game. Like I said, the one incompletion was a drop pass. Like the sack that I showed you was still the right play given the circumstances. He's playing good football. And you know what? Having a quote-unquote game manager quarterback who still is capable of making the occasional splash play, that's not too different than what Brock Purdy does, right? Granted, a lot smaller of a sample size from Willis, and we've seen Willis, struggle in the past. Purdy's played well for a while, but yeah, I've been really impressed with Malik Willis. I really have. I think he's doing some good stuff here. Again, only a half of football, and they don't put the ball in his hands a lot, but when they do, he delivers. I do wonder if, next week when they play Green Bay, do they consider giving him the ball a little bit more? I don't think it'd be the worst idea in the world. But yeah, those are my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.